Hello, everybody. It's your favorite YouTuber, Austin Holloman, and I am in Nairobi, Kenya again. First live stream video back. I want to say thank you to all the Kenyans that have been supporting my content, all of the Americans that have been supporting my content since the beginning. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all. But today, I did this live mainly just to tap in with the audience and, engage with y'all. But we are going to talk about a good topic of if this lifestyle is even right for you. It's right for me, obviously. It's been 9 months on the 16th, I believe. 9 months. Yes. And I don't regret any of it. I won't be going back anything. Anytime soon. JB says he'll be in Brazil Thursday. Good content. That is a blessing. Yes, I am taking questions. Ask as many questions as you feel like. Um, when more people start getting in, and if a lot of people are asking questions, you might have to donate a super chat so I can see the colors because I can't see all of them. Now, I think Africa may have been overrated, but seeing your videos definitely more preferable than America. I would be coming there eventually. Absolutely, because it's definitely not overrated at all, especially not Kenya. Um, Rwanda's not overrated when it comes to Rwanda's nightlife is kind of overrated. You said you didn't see the join button on the membership thing. Is that what you're talking about, Anonymous? Roadmate Adventure says Kenya has been more than a home for you, my G. About the joke, a joke needs a brand ambassador. So let me check it out because people think that I'm clickbaiting y'all by telling y'all that some African woman tried to trap me with a baby. That's not clickbait. That's a real story. But people said that they cannot see the members only. How do you I don't know how you guys sign up to become a member. I would have thought that it would have said join a member here. Let me Google that really quick before we get into today's topic on how to. I'm going to Madagascar next. It's not there. Let me see. Because I was wondering why nobody. Because I know a lot of people were interested, but nobody could sign up. They were saying, um, how to find your members only link. Okay, so I'll have to. I want to figure that out. That's interesting. It usually does say it next to the subscribe button. You have to create the join link yourself. Okay, I guess I didn't do that. Sorry, bear with me. We're gonna get into today's topic, but I need to figure this part out because that was the whole point. Because the type of content I'm doing, I'm gonna tell you guys my personal stories that are a little more detailed because I don't want to put everything out there on YouTube. But if you would still like to hear it, because I got banned on Patreon for whatever reason. So far, I've been banned on Patreon, Bumble, and Tinder. I don't know what that's about, but I don't. It didn't affect me to ban me on Patreon. I haven't posted nothing on Patreon since like September of last year, so I didn't even use it. I don't know why I'm banned, and if there was an issue, I don't know what took so long for them to ban me because nothing was changing in that time period. Uh, but the membership right here, I'm looking at it. Okay, so there's a community post that could have created. Why is there? Yeah, there's no. Yeah, there's no nothing for membership. I don't see. Hmm. Well, I guess I'll do that. Let me see. Click here to become because you guys got to hear that story. Member. Okay, so I put it on my community tab. If you guys can see it, says members only. But I don't want to waste too much time talking about this. So let me just check and make sure that we're gonna get into the topic. I hope you guys liked that last video. A lot of people had comments to say about the guy. Okay, I'll come back to that later because I gotta figure it out. And I'm gonna have to do a I showed something that I use for my skin. What I use on my skin is cocoa butter. Okay. Yeah, it's odd. That's bullshit that you can't see it. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So today I want to talk about is becoming an expat right for you because there's a lot of talk from a lot of y'all that's saying, "Oh, I'm leave the West. I don't want to go back." But a lot of y'all are not ready to actually move to another country and become part of that country. As we all know, the first step is, do you have online income? If you do not have online income, or you are not super rich, or you do not have a job, well, I guess not super rich, or if you're not sitting on a lot of cash, I should say, and you do not have a job, this is not going to work for you. Especially, I'm going to tell you why. You guys seen I've been buying a lot of clothes. That's because number one, I threw out all my clothes and I want to redo my whole wardrobe. Number two, when you are spending less on everything, you have a lot more excess funds sitting around. Therefore, you spend a lot more of that money in places that you would probably hesitate to spend it at. So, like, I've been spending a lot of money on my clothes, on cigars. I've still been generating content, obviously. More content's about to come down. I'm about to tell you why in a minute. But you have to be able to financially back yourself to do this. I don't know what's up with these Americans coming to Africa and getting because there's no jobs like that in Africa. There's jobs, right? But there's not. It's not like the United States where you say, "Oh, I don't have a job. Let me just go to Whataburger or let me go to McDonald's and get a job." That's not these economies that your US dollar thrives in, that's usually not a thing. It directly correlates. So you have to bring your leverage overseas. Now, if you move to somewhere like France, I'm assuming, never been, but this is an educated assumption, you can go find a job, a regular job to at least keep you in that country and not have to go back or not be on a homeless foreigner, a homeless expat living in France. That I don't really see that happening because that is a country that has opportunity similar to the United States, similar. You go to Colombia, the reason your dollar stretches so far is because there's not as much opportunity. So you can do more. Same thing with Brazil. Brazil has, more opportunity on their way to being a first world country, but you can do more. So you need online income or you're going to need enough money and enough excess income. So like for example, if you were 50 years old and you don't hang out a lot and you're coming to live in Nairobi, then you would probably, I would say, at least have enough money to spend 4,000 US dollars per month. That doesn't mean you're gonna spend that, but you always need wiggle room because shit happens. You ever watch Forrest Gump and he had that what is it, the bumper sticker that said shit happens? Shit literally happens. You cannot predict it. That's why living on 50 grand a year is not a good idea, because if for some reason all four of your tires pop, you probably don't have the extra money sitting around. And if you do, it's going to kill you. So do not find yourself in that situation outside the United States, especially in a country with little to no opportunity. Number two, do you have an arrogant American personality? The reason I have this on there. Okay, guys, I've been at immigration. I was at immigration in one African country that I went to recently. There was some black folks in there from America, and there's a black girl. And the lady, guys, these people in these immigration just about worldwide is they're rude. Why? Because they have a monopoly. If you want to get into this country, you got to go through me. You can't go through nobody. So they'll talk to you like they work for you, like you work for them. Well, this American black woman, I'm just sitting there talking, and next thing I hear her says, "Do you hear me talking to you? Do you hear me talking to you? Why are you not?" Hmm. Don't try that. I mean, luckily, thank God, nothing happened to her. But in a lot of situations, you guys got to drop the habits that you have on how you talk to people. In America, it doesn't fly the same way. And you do have to remember you're a foreigner. Being arrogant in a lot of these other countries, like countries in Africa, countries in South America, when you're arrogant, that makes people either want to use you or not fuck with you, because they already know that Americans think that we're on top and we're number one in the world, which in some aspects, yes. Quality of life, no. But if we want to say military, opportunity, freedom, yeah. But that type of society brings entitled and arrogant people. And I'm just letting you know, if you're going to live outside the country, and I'm saying this, I haven't been living in one country for more than 3 months. I have not, but I have lived outside the United States for 9 months now. And I'm telling you, you need to leave that arrogance at home. And people try to call me arrogant. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Unless you want to go by the exact definition that arrogant is extreme confidence. But that's not, I don't know if that's exactly what it is. But you guys get what I'm saying. Let me read a couple of these comments. Humble is a word. Yeah. There is freedom in the United States. Yes, freedom is slowly starting to change a little bit. But for the most part, you can do whatever the fuck you want in the United States. Literally. You can be a con artist in the United States. You can talk about the president. As crazy as you want to in the United States. A lot of Asian countries, that's not happening. I know in Tanzania, that's not a, you don't go over there talking. I don't think that they say they have freedom of speech, but don't test it. And a lot of these countries do not test freedom of speech. You are a foreigner when it comes to talking about the government. Would that is a US thing. Is the United States is probably the only country that you can walk around and talk shit to the police to their face, call them out their name and record them and put them on the spot, and nothing's gonna happen. That's the only, I think that's the only country that happens. Now we got a couple super chats. Let me read these really quick. What's a good monthly budget to be an expat? So again, that all depends on where you're at. I've been in East Africa, I've been in Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya. So far, Nairobi, Kenya has been the most expensive city I've been in. This place I'm at right now is a hotel. For a month, it's gonna damn near cost me $1,000. That's where I'm at though. That's the part of the city that I'm at. I'm in Westlands. If I went out southwest, to I think it's Kilalisha or some Kilalacia, or however you say it, I think this same place might be half the price, or maybe 600 for a hotel for the month. But I could do that. But I also like being walking distance or within 5 minutes of most things. I'm 5 minutes from where I work out at, which I don't work out at the same place every day. I'm 5 minutes away from everything. Now, if you're like me and you eat out, because I'm gonna break it down. If you're like me and you eat out 3 times a day, or however many times I eat that day, in Nairobi, per no bullshit, per meal, it's costing me around $10 plus. Now in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, there was a lot of street food and a lot of cheap places you could eat at and still eat good food. That was costing me $2 to $6 for the cheapest food. And this would be a full meal. I in the safe or the more modernized or let's say the safer areas in Nairobi, I don't think that's not it's too many nice restaurants where you're gonna spend $10 plus. Now, I did go to a brunch yesterday with a guy that was in my last video that we were sitting on the rooftop. It was an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet with endless gin, cocktails. It was like 4 or 5 courses they brought out, and that it took us about an hour of them just constantly bringing food for us to eat all that. And that was about $45, and that was on the high end. It gets higher than that, of course, but that was on the high end. I've ate at a restaurant in Nairobi at this little, I think it's called Africa One Tower. You can see the whole view of the city is beautiful. I don't know why I didn't record it. I had to go back now that I'm here a month. I went on a date there, and that was for the both of us without the drinks, like $30. It ended up being 100, I guess, because I don't know how. I don't recall drinking that much, but apparently I did. That lifestyle, you need at least $4,000. Not saying I spend $4,000 on food and all that, but you need wiggle room. In Tanzania, Mark Meets Africa told y'all I think he said his apartment was $17 a month. Never in my life would I do that unless if I just had to. But if your apartment rent is 1,700, I'm pretty sure you can live off of $500 a month there. That's if you're riding the bus and your apartment is $17 and your phone is super cheap, which that means you had to get a local phone and you're eating street food or cooking. I know in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, when I had Kate, we went to the grocery store, not the grocery store. Some outdoor market shit. We were there. I had it was, if you go back and watch the video, it's called like the grocery haul or something like that. We had 7 sacks worth of groceries in Chiang Mai, Thailand for $6. So but we shopped locally, and they made good food out of all that stuff they got. But that was local. I'm not living like that right now. And I don't even know where I would live like that in Nairobi. But it's here, but I'm not going there. So you're talking $6, and that food lasted us a whole week. So $6, if you want to stay in Chiang Mai, $6, and you want to cook all your meals, get a girl to cook for you. I don't care what you do. $6 times 4, that's less than $30. That's $24 a month. You can ride around on a motorcycle in just about every country. Most places they'll take you to is going to cost you $1 to $5 tops, and $5 is going like on a 20-minute motorcycle ride. In Kigali, it was like that. In Uganda, it was like that. Everywhere I've been to, the motorcycle is the cheapest because it's the least safe. But if you want to be on a motorcycle for 5 to 10 minutes, you're literally talking about paying like $1 to $1.80 max. Of course, it varies from where you go. But worldwide, remember that $50,000 a year puts you in the top 1% of the world. So that being said, you need to judge your budget off of that. That's like 50,000 divided by 12 is like, what exact number is that you be making per month? So that's $4,166 a month. So that's why I said you need at least 4,000. or I would have $4,000 coming in. But you can make it work in most countries off of 2 grand. Don't expect to live the same way you see me do on YouTube. Expect to live like a local. And I'm not talking about a poor local, but somebody that actually is from these countries that doesn't go out all the time and is not always in the mix. Hopefully, I answered your question. Thank you for the super chat as well. And Theo Anderson, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, what are your thoughts currently on bringing a woman back to the U.S. if you marry her? Which is just the word marry plus the United States is already a no go. I'm 29, almost 30, plan on buying a house here, but will most likely marry a Latina or Asian woman from abroad. Now, what you did get right in this message, Theo, and I've spoke with you before, marrying a Latina or an Asian woman from their home country is a way better option than marrying one in the United States. But as we always say, even without marrying them, bringing them back to the United States is like a ticking time bomb. Not always do they always flip to the other side, but people adapt to their environment the same way how you have to adjust to the culture when you move to Brazil or you move to Rwanda or Tanzania. That's what they do when they come to the United States. And how do you adapt to the culture? Well, number one, by being there and by having friends. Friends influence the way how you behave. That's why they say the five people you're around the most is who you become. If all her friends are natively born American women, eventually you will have an American woman. No scientific data to prove it, just all theory and some results that we've seen online and horror stories that we've seen. So I would say marry at your own risk. I mean, bring them at your own risk. But there's plenty of expats that have married overseas, like Andre and Andrea loves crossing borders. He's been married. I don't know how long he's been married to his wife there, but they're in Colombia. The laws are different. I don't know how different, but I know that the culture is different. The expectations from women are different. When you get these women from Latin America, Asia, in their country, they have expectations. There's no expectations for women in the United States. If there is, let me know. Leave a comment on what their expectations is. Thank you for that super chat again. So here we have Sam Adundo. Bro, we need to do a live together one of these days. Salute. Absolutely. Shoot me an email. We can set that up. I appreciate that $20 super chat. Thank you very much. How do you stay in shape eating out all the time? Can't track calories. I gain weight quick traveling and eating out every meal. Okay. So I'm 24. My metabolism is still fast, but it will stay fast. Both of my parents are naturally skinny. So no matter how much, they're older, so that's not the same. Let me just stay on me then. It's not in my genes to ever really get fat. I'm starting to gain weight the older I get because my metabolism is slowing down. But let's also keep in mind that I take this every day. Men, yeah, I probably know what that is, but that's like it's a libido thing and don't ask me why I'm using that, but that speeds up your metabolism. The cigars I smoke, believe it or not, they speed up your metabolism too. Or it might not be the metabolism, but it makes the stomach acid stronger in your stomach, which makes you hungry again. The longer you spend hungrier, the slimmer you stay. But how do I stay in shape? I'm in the gym 4 times a week. I do the Stairmaster. I do cardio. I drink a lot of water. Drinking a lot of water keeps you slim too. It keeps your skin right too. It keeps your skin glowing. But when I go out to eat, you guys notice I don't ever eat KFC, McDonald's. I do eat it on occasion. But for the most part, when I go out to eat, you either see me eating like grilled salmon, even if it's fried fish, it's still more organic food. I don't know where you travel to though. But if you're eating out every meal and you're eating huge portions, you're gonna gain weight regardless. But my advice would be to take something that speeds up your metabolism and to stay in the gym and do a lot of cardio. All both of those will speed up your metabolism. Thank you for the super chat. Intermittent fasting too. Yeah, that works too. That works like a motherfucker. Yeah, this is a huge risk. Okay. So far, yeah, they said that isn't a great income for Europe. Yeah, plus you gotta think that the euro is stronger than the dollar, last time I checked. He said, okay, so drink water, make a wish sandwich. But staying in hot areas, yes, like somebody said, does keep you slimmer. That because that's getting rid of your water weight. We got another super chat for $50 right here that says, for the movement passport bros for life, keep connecting the dots and showing us beautiful women. Absolutely. And there should be more of that tomorrow. Now, the guy that does my short videos on YouTube, my shorts that I put on TikTok and YouTube, I do not make those. I have a Kenyan that has been working with me for a year this month now. Um, he doesn't like to do long format videos, but I told him yesterday, I said, or that might have been today, I said, we need you to start trying because y'all might notice I miss some days. I record every day, but sometimes I don't edit. We're in the same city, and even when we leave, I can upload them to him. But I have him working on because what was it? Sunday, I recorded 5 vlogs. I recorded 5 vlogs, and then I recorded two. No, that was Saturday. I recorded five, and then two the next day. So I'm already a week ahead of schedule on content. But in order for me to edit that content and go get more content, it's too hectic. So if he can edit my videos, my long format videos, and post them, I can literally spend 3 days recording at a time and have enough content because I have free time. It's hard to live my life, find these female tour guides or assistants to be there. Like that's a job by getting women in the videos is a job by itself. So doing that and editing and trying to go to the gym is making it's too much stress. But thank you for the super chat again from Sonny Robinson. Now let me get back to the topic. Are you willing to adjust to another culture? Sorry. Are you willing to adjust to another culture? Swahili cultures don't show like this is an example. So one example of adjusting to culture is like in Brazil. If you want to date in Brazil, you have to adjust to kissing women within seconds of meeting them. And I know that when I was put on the news and all that, that was like part of the article that, oh, he said that Brazilian women kiss you very soon and it's normal. It is fucking normal. I didn't make it up. I didn't just come out with it out of nowhere. Are you willing to adjust to that when you get down there? If you say, no, I'm not kissing women that soon, you're going to have a hard time meeting women in Brazil because if you don't kiss women like very soon, like the first time upon first interaction, this could be seconds, 2 minutes into the conversation, whatever, they take it as you don't like them. And usually when I would not kiss women in Brazil, they wouldn't call back. And they would tell me like, hey, I didn't think you liked me. Your experience may be different, but that's what happened to me. But are you willing to adjust to that? That's part of their culture. Nothing wrong with it. That's just part of their culture. But will you adjust to that? In Swahili, you guys know when I was in Asia, I would go to a party in a tank top. I would walk around in tank tops. Everywhere I went in Tanzania where I was wearing a tank top, not everywhere, but most places where they were kind of like this. Almost like it was like I was back in Asia. You know how the Asian people look at you like, if you're black, they look at you like, what the hell is that? That's how the people in Tanzania would look at me because I was in their culture. They don't walk around in tank tops and they don't have a lot of tattoos either. I'm not saying I'm gonna take my tattoos off because they love the tattoos, but I started to respect their cultural standards and I started walking around in my gym shirts when I was going to the gym rather than the tank top. Sometimes I do the tank top, but I also read online that they don't show bare shoulders and all that kind of stuff. Let me read a couple of these. Let me see what the hell is that. No, in Brazil, when you meet a woman, they kiss you in the mouth, like tongue kiss. That's normal. And Brandon says, yeah, you have to spend more money to get production, to get more production. Yes, that's me. That's part of me reinvesting in the business. And see, y'all are saying that's nasty, but in Brazil, I love Brazil, and I thought it was nasty too sometimes because I talked to some chicks, and they be like, "Oh, my friend, I seen her kiss 14 dudes at a party in like 2 hours," and I'm like, "Damn, that's nasty." So you, when you're in Brazil, you literally gotta when you meet women and you kiss them, you gotta really have the nonchalant fucking mindset, like fuck it. So the next point: can you be away from your family years at a time? Because I will. I'm 3 months away from being 1 year away from seeing my mother, my brother, everybody, friends, all that. I'm built for that because I have a very nonchalant, very unfazable mindset when it comes to my emotions. That does not mean I don't feel emotions. That does not mean I don't miss my family, but I know how to control my emotions. But for you, you might not be able to do that. And going back and forth in between the United States is not cheap. I know some people that go back and forth uh, every 3 or 4 months in the States. I was actually kind of going to be one of those guys. I was one of those guys when I first started traveling, February of 2022. Then I was out again in May. Then I was out again in August. Then I was out again in October. It's just in October I didn't come back. But taking time off from work and paying for plane tickets and all that, that's not cheap. Plus, you're not an expat, in my opinion, if you're going back home every 3 months. I mean, you are an expat because you have a foreign residency. You don't permanently live in the United States anymore, but you're not really living. Like you're not a fish. You're not living like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I could be wrong. I'm new to this. Can you deal with being extorted? Can you deal with having issues? Can you handle issues with foreign police? Because if you guys have been following me long enough, I told you about the first time I went to Brazil that I thought the police were gonna kill me the first time I went there because they snatched me and my homeboy out the car and put the gun in our face and walked us behind the car and turned the laser on me. I was yelling and screaming. I thought I was about to fucking die. Can you deal with that? They didn't extort us for money, but they could have. I would have gave it to them. Shit. But a lot of y'all can't deal with that. In Thailand, they'll try to extort you for money. I've heard this hasn't happened to me at the jet skis, saying that you broke their jet skis. And sometimes, if you call the police are not going to be on your side. They're going to be on their own side because they want some of the change too. That's part of being an American or a Brit or an Australian in a country like somewhere. I'm not going to name any countries' names because y'all are so damn sensitive, but in a country where it's not as rich, it's not as privileged, the opportunity is not the same. Like you said, that's a cost of doing business. You said I'm a tourist. I mean, I'm a tourist technically in these countries that I go to, like I'm a tourist, I have a tourist visa for East Africa right now. But when it comes to me, my relationship with the United States, it's almost a year. I'm not a tourist anymore. I've been gone way too long. But in these countries, yes, until I actually get me an apartment and I sign a lease, then I'll be an expat or a tourist living as an expat until I get citizenship or a work visa or a temporary residency visa. Yeah, he says you're an officially an expat when you obtain residency. Yeah, so that's why I was saying that. So I was an expat in Brazil. I just didn't. I never got my. I was too caught up having fun to actually go to his Sede Federal to get my residency visa, but I was eligible for it, and I don't know why I never made the time to do it. He said, "So Austin, are you an expat now, not a passport bro?" I disassociated myself from, and if all people here in Kenya call me a passport bro, like they done their homework on me so far. But you can be an expat and a passport bro. I think the passport bro is just like a that's just like a label that anybody can say that they're a passport bro. There's no membership fee. It's not a fraternity. Like Pablo Frescobar right here just said, in order to be an expat, you need residency. Anybody can't just be an expat. You have to actually, it's people that don't even have their passports that call themselves passport bros. So you can't, that doesn't translate to being an expat. You can't be in the United States and call yourself an expat. Now, can you deal with not having to leverage in dangerous situations? So this is what I was talking about. Um, and Fred went through the same thing. If you watch Vibe with Fred, where he said the police pulled them over and they pulled the gun out on him and was kind of like, roughing him up. You don't have any leverage. Now, look, in this situation, we both had leverage because we were US citizens and we were able to, say, hey, like, we're not from here. Where are you from? United States. And they say, okay, we don't want to mess with tourists. You have leverage to leave in that situation. But what about when the girl you're dating is falsely accusing? Because this almost happened to me. Well, it did happen to me. When the girl is falsely accusing you of something and she tells you, I'm going to get you put in jail because of whatever reason this motherfucker's mad. If she calls the police, you're not winning that. So there are crazy women everywhere. And I said this on my membership only video too, because that is a video about how they're not Americanized, but there are people that do bullshit everywhere in the world. I never said that they don't. I'm just saying that your chances of running into bullshit are far less outside the United States. If she calls her family members to do something to you, if she calls the police, you have no leverage. And that's part of now your daily life because you don't live in this country. You live in this country, but you're not one of us. Most of the time, they don't even want to hear your side of the story. I even heard about a time in Brazil where somebody got the food, and we're in America. We're used to if you mess the food up, you take it back and you make a new one, or you give me a refund. That's how the United States works. In places like Brazil, if they cook their food, you're even sometimes when they mess it up, you're paying for it. If they call the police are gonna have you pay them. I'm not saying Brazil does this. I'm just saying in a lot of foreign countries, the police are gonna have you pay them and pay the restaurant. Can you deal with being in a higher possible chance of being in that scenario? Can you deal with being taken advantage of because you're a foreigner and they know the privilege you have of being a foreigner? What do I mean by that? Fake friends. When people get rich, how they say they have fake friends that come around. Well, whenever you go to these other countries, technically you're in their upper class. They know you don't know shit about their country. Most of y'all don't know the language. So when you go there, you have people, and this has happened to me in 2, 3 countries, where people hang around you because they know you got it compared to them. They want you to pay for all the fucking Ubers. They want you to pay for the meals. They want you to buy the liquor. Why? They give nothing in return. You're watering a seed that will never grow into a plant, meaning you'll never get any fruit, you'll never get anything, but they're going to keep expecting you and requiring you to pay the way because they are living above their means. But they know hanging around you, a fake friend, that you can do it for them. And sometimes they're American too, because they be broke. Some of these American expats are broke. Not some, a lot. Who's gonna go? Don't ever give up your U.S. citizenship. Yeah, no, I'm never doing that. Because if we ever have a war, I'm going back to United States because they're more than likely they're not going to get invaded. Now, somebody said the police in Africa would go after the girl she called. I've heard that. I could believe that. But again, when it comes to extortion and that kind of thing, you never know. You never know. And I'm not saying the police in Africa can be bought, even though whatever. I'm not saying that because y'all are waiting for me to say something I shouldn't say. I'm just saying be aware that it's possible. Because people in the United States can be bought. Police, I mean. Not like they used to. But just believe in the other countries that are not as developed. Yes, they usually can be bought. Okay. Colin Coachrain. I'm gonna say Coachrain. Appreciate the $20 super sticker. Thank you very much. Now, another point. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about with that one. We're gonna talk about some more things, and then we're gonna go back to the membership. If you have any more questions, leave them below, and I'll answer them on the topic anytime throughout this video. Now, you guys seen that the last video I did was with a guy named Troy, a good friend of mine that I met out here. I believe he found me on YouTube and we met and we've been vibing ever since. He's cool. I did a condo tour on his place. That should be dropping tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the day after. But I also was like, you know what? He said some things. I was like, you know what? Let me interview. You said, do I still get cash apps? Yes. My cash app is $ Austin Holloman if you'd like to donate. The PayPal is austinholloman@gmail. Now, and yes, you're right about this. A lot of when they know you're not there for when they know you're there for just a good time and not a long time, that's when they get you. Yes, because they know you're in tourist mode and you don't mind spending money anyway. But when you choose to expat and stay somewhere, you start to budget, and they know that they're less like you're not as easy of a target. I appreciate the cash app. Now, one moment. Now, we talked about Black American women coming to Africa. And I had a lot of people in the comments make the dumbest assumptions about me, about stuff I didn't even say in the video. I don't know why. But my point was, we all know how Black American women act. And I'm saying Black American women because I'm in Africa. I said, do you think because the men in Africa 9 times out of 10 are not having, none of that BS that we deal with in the States? Do you think them moving here is a solution? Now, a lot of people had an issue with Troy's view where he says he likes that they were blessed with that extra spice. I mean, I don't Black women around the world so far do have a little more spice to them, I guess you would call it. But in the States, it's not a good spice. It's very rude at times. He said he likes it. I don't like it. I don't like that spice. Quicksilver sent a $20 cash app. I appreciate it, which is a quick 504. He says have fun and be safe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yes, the blue and white striped shirt, the guy in Tanzania made that, and the guy also made like that business blue. That's what I call it, business blue shirt. Hold on. Salute, bro. Definitely got me ready to come to Africa, stacking it up, and I'm on my way. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't start in Kenya because Kenya sets the bar very high. That's why a lot of people in Tanzania are offended by what I've said. And I didn't mean to be rude. I was just saying this is more my speed. That's why I'm back right now. I'll be back in Tanzania too, but that's why I'm back here. Appreciate that $5 super chat. Anonymous says, why am I still discussing American women in the videos? That video came about. I really don't discuss them, but not anymore. That video came about because of something he said, and I was like, I think that would be a good discussion that would start if I put that on the channel. Love your channel. I literally looked up at NBC News, and there's a backlog of passport applications. It's happening. Appreciate the $5 super chat, and thank you for always being here. I've been seeing you for months now. I don't know if it's because of this type of content that people have been putting on YouTube that's been causing more passport applications. I'm pretty sure it has some effect, but I really think it's people nationwide are trying to get exposed to something else, not just the men. Rail says, what's the weed like in Africa? Only thing Thailand got over Africa so far from your blogs. Some of us smoke every day. I don't smoke weed. I wouldn't recommend smoking weed. In Rwanda, possession of marijuana, I was told, is 5 years minimum. Distribution of marijuana is 25 years minimum. So, and a lot of African countries are hard like that. Tanzania is hard like that too, I think. I think Kenya is hard on it. A lot of countries outside the United States do that. I heard dudes going to the passport office shouting out Austin Holloman. Oh, that must be a joke. I don't know about that one. If you see something like that, record it. I need to see that. That's gonna be more motivation. Appreciate the super chat. And I also said in this video with Troy that I don't hate American women. I have American women, female friends in Tanzania, like I said before, and I speak to them. We go hang out, we drink together. That's it. We're cool. They're good people. And I said the longer that they have stayed in Africa, like when I met them, I was like, oh, there's a little bit of a, she's better, but still can see a little bit of the Americanism. And it's either when they learn me or the longer that they're staying in Africa, I'm not gonna say desirable, that they're more desirable, but they become more cooperative. There's less bullshit that they have the habits. So I'm not gonna. There is a reason that they've gotten like that. But what I was trying to tell Troy was that's not my problem. Because yes, there is. I'm pretty sure they didn't make themselves like that. But I'm not about to get gray hair and be 30, 24 looking 34 because they're rude. They're disrespect. That's not my problem. I go somewhere where they're not like that. And then when you get fixed, I love you. I won't hate you, but I wouldn't date you. We can be friends. I wouldn't date you. Let's read a couple more comments. Really? I didn't know that. Why did you leave that dime in Rwanda, nephew? I actually was on the phone with her right before I started this live stream. So and a lot of people, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all think that because I told the girl in the video that, oh, I'm not gonna call you back. If you've been watching Austin Holloman for at least a month now, you should have been able to tell that I have a very sarcastic sense of humor. If you've met me in person, you know I'm very sarcastic, very sarcastic. She got it. That's why she laughed when I said that. And she was like, "Oh, I'll call you." She wasn't being sarcastic though. She did call me. I want to say this too. I'm not gonna fall in love. People were telling me you need to marry her. Whenever I showed her those comments, they laughed at that. She laughed at that. I mean, because we had just met. We literally, that was on a Sunday when I did that date with her. I talked on the phone with her that Friday, and that Saturday we went out to eat. Fuck you, man. I saw that comment. And then Sunday we went out again. So we only knew each other really a 2 full days. That being said, uh, I've been exposed. I'm not doing that. That's very desperate and very risky. That's riskier than bringing her back to the States. But now you see why America is the way how it is. My brothers overcompensating, doing too much too soon. It's not good. So we're gonna talk about one more topic. Yeah, he said getting married from just 2 days, maybe in a movie. Let's talk about the membership because I know a lot of you guys may want to hear. And I'm not sick. I'm just extremely sleepy, but I made sure I did this. I'm not sick at all. Yes, it is a very scarcity mentality to want to marry her right away. Now, will y'all see her again? Yes, you will see her again. But no, I don't need it that bad. Now, I want to figure out, oh, the video that I have for members only is very, not very, but it's vulgar. Like the way I've been talking on here with minimal curse words is not what that video is like. I'm not putting down anybody. I'm not talking shit about anybody, but I am speaking in the same way how I would have before, which means I'm using a little more explicit language. But I want that to be not the forefront of my channel anymore. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna get y'all to sign up because I've already made it. I don't know why there's no link. I don't get it. Somebody asked a question. They said, how hard is it for you to adjust to these different cultures? So it's not hard because I'm staying in one area of one continent. God, yeah, I'm gonna have to go to sleep here in a minute. I'm staying in one area of one continent. East Africa, every country is different so far that I've been to. But he said, keep it or clean, little bro. What do you mean? But Tanzania's culture is not that much different from Uganda's. They are not the same, but they have some similar food. They have a similar language in Kenya and Tanzania. They both speak Swahili. There's a lot in common with these areas. Everywhere in Southeast Asia that I went, except for the Philippines, everywhere was full of Buddhist temples. Temples everywhere. So it's not like me going from Cambodia and then shooting straight to Japan where I would get a culture shock. Now, if I was to go straight from Tanzania to somewhere like Angola, I think there'd be a culture shock because the language wouldn't be the same and the infrastructure wouldn't be the same. I believe Angola is like very. I've heard that they're competing with Kenya. I don't know. I've heard, but I know South Africa is supposed to be the most developed in all of Africa. I believe. I believe Ghana is very developed as well. If these brothers are flipping out on the Rwanda dime, wait till they see what happens in Ethiopia. Yes, I'm already knowing that, and that's why I saved that one for last. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, I'm giving the Disney version on here. I'm gonna keep it very minimal. No need for all that cussing. Yeah, it's not a. I mean, I'm not just cussing unnecessarily, but I'm kind of speaking very relaxed and not judge. But I don't know. I went back and I was like thinking, maybe I should cut out those curse words. But then I know some people want to. I'm reading that comment. Sorry. Some people will want to see that extra entertainment that because you guys know when I curse the way how I sound, I think that makes it a lot more entertaining. So I don't know. Maybe this first video will be like that, and then from now on, I probably won't do it again. But the point is, I'm still telling y'all stories on there that I wouldn't put on my YouTube. But so far, I think I've covered all of the questions. I know this was a short live. If you have another question, go ahead and leave it. Super chat it. No, there's no dangerous animals walking around at nighttime either. You use curse words to if yes, that's the reason why I'm not even trying to curse. But when I really want to emphasize the words, they're enhancers. They enhance what you're talking about. You don't just say, "Oh, it's cold. It's cold as hell." Even though hell isn't cold, people say it's cold as hell outside. That's emphasizing how cold it is, or it's cold as fuck. Yeah, cursing a lot is classless. Yeah, I get that, and that's why I was like, I've been doing pretty good cursing at a very minimal level. He said, "You forgot your pregnancy story." No. What do you think the best area to live in Nairobi is? For an American, it's Westland so far, Parklands. I believe the one up north is Livington. We getting some mixed opinions, some factual opinions about the cursing. And this is true. Patrick says cursing too much attracts people to disrespect you because they take you less serious, which is true. It depends on how much you're cursing, I would say. So if you're repeatedly cursing, then yeah, people are gonna take you less serious. But if you minimize it when you do curse, the words hit a lot harder. I think people take you more serious whenever you barely curse and you finally say a curse word. But who knows? I could go back. I still have the video. I can go back and mute the curse. Put a one in the chat if you want to see me mute the curse words. Mute the curse words in the video that I was talking about. So for this first video, I'll keep them in there, but in the future, yeah. So you said you got to ease up on the cursing for real. Yeah, I have. I don't know how long you've been watching me, Anthony, but I have eased up a whole lot. Go watch my videos from 3, 4 months ago. And Beauty says just be you, Austin, and that's why. Yeah, I won't mute it. I won't mute anything. We all are grown up. That is true. And I do tell the stories a lot funnier whenever I it's yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You hardly use any curse words today here. Yeah, there's no yeah, I barely curse. I barely curse online now. Now, if you see me in person, I do. Yeah. Appreciate the $1 super chat from Raz Ted. Thank you very much. Because even bullshit is cursing. You hear professional people say it's all about what you say, how you say it, when you say it, how often you say it. He said, just stop dancing. Yeah, I know I can't dance. Which countries have given you the hardest time with banking? Ooh, that's a really good one. Brazil, Philippines. Brazil and the Philippines had the hardest time with the banks. Brazil is annoying. Like I love Brazil, but when it comes to basic stuff that you need to get done every day, they do have a lot of hoops that you got to jump through. Just like whenever it's time to get your cell phone plan. the CPF, which was that tax thing, the tax ID basically, they said I hadn't spent enough money in the country to get a phone plan. Who the hell says that? So I called my homegirl. She is a Brazilian. She's 25 at the time. They said that she doesn't has not spent enough money in Brazil. Yet she's from Brazil. What's an average price of what? And Alexis, yes, you can email me at austinholloman@gmail. Thank you very much. I've already started doing this. So in most countries that I go to, the shirts that those dress shirts, they're usually like 75, $80 a piece. But the quality is A1. Will you bring back some of the videos with Brazilians on your no? I'm not fucking with the Brazilians no more. They're now y'all think Americans are sensitive. They're sensitive. They're like, it's so sensitive it gets annoying. But I've been writing a book every night. I haven't done it in about 2 weeks now, but I'm a diary is the proper word. But at the end, I'll put them all together, and for each continent, I will make a book. There'll be a Southeast Asia, because I don't know if when I'm gonna do the whole Asia. There'll be an African book, and I think that'll be the best book because I'm gonna go to so many countries and have so many connections. Such a better connection with the locals. So I keep reading these comments. Such a better connection with the locals, and it'll make the book way more intense because my Asian book will be more so me interacting with a few women and then mostly Americans am I hanging around versus here it'll be women and I'm interacting with more locals than Americans, especially in Tanzania. The only Americans I knew was like an American woman that I hung out with on a regular. But I'm getting super tired. It's 1:22 in the morning here. I just had to come tap in with my audience. I appreciate everybody that donated super chats and sent cash apps. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My Brazil book will be very interesting as well, though, because that one will be able to be made into a movie for sure. That'll be a very interesting book. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Remember, I got the guy editing my video, so I'm gonna try to get at least not this week, but probably start next week to drop 2 to 3 videos a day. Since I'm not editing, I have more time. I'm very much at peace. You should consider yourself lucky traveling to Africa. US got nothing. Expect big buildings and with big ego, accept big buildings with big egos, people, and bad attitudes. Enjoy Africa. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Yes, we have all the materials we need, but we don't have the quality of life. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video.